everyone, welcome back to Forks and Fandoms, where food meets fandom. Today, we are celebrating two awesome things, Earth Day and Pretzel Day. We're combining the two to make stuffed soft pretzels. Both days are celebrated in the same week of April. Tie up your apron and let's get mixing. Let's go! To make these pretzels, you're going to need 1 1/2 cup or 340 grams of water, 2 1/4 teaspoon or 7 grams of yeast, 1 teaspoon or 5 grams of salt, 1 tablespoon or 11 grams of sugar, 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of butter, 3 3/4 to 4 cups or 470 to 500 grams of all-purpose flour. To make the peanut butter filling, you'll need 1 cup or 250 grams of creamy peanut butter. Do not use natural peanut butter. 2 1/2 cup or 300 grams of confectioner's sugar. 6 teaspoons or 85 grams of butter. 1/2 teaspoon or 3 grams of vanilla. 1/8 teaspoon or 1 gram of salt. Now, let's get baking. Start by combining your yeast, warm water, and sugar in a large bowl. Cover and let this sit for about 5 minutes until it gets foamy and smells like yeast. Now that the yeast is all foamy, whisk in melted butter, food coloring, and salt. Slowly add 3 cups or 375 grams of flour, a little at a time. Using a wooden spoon if mixing by hand, or the dough hook if using a stand mixer, mix until the dough is thick. Add in another 3/4 cup or 95 grams of flour until the dough is no longer sticky. Note, if the dough is still sticky, add in 1/4 to 1/2 cup or 30 to 60 grams of flour as needed. If the dough bounces back when poked, it is ready to knead. Now that the dough is ready, knead it for about 5 minutes, either by hand or using your stand mixer. If the dough becomes too sticky while kneading, sprinkle in about a teaspoon of flour over the dough and work it on the surface until you have a soft, slightly tacky dough. Note, do not add more flour than is necessary, as you do not want a dry dough. We are not making bagels. Continue kneading until the dough passes a window pane test. To perform the window pane test, tear off about a golf ball sized piece of dough and gently stretch it out until it's thin enough for light to pass through. If the light passes through without the dough tearing first, it is ready. If it does not pass, keep kneading. Repeat this process for each color of the dough and let the dough rest for at least an hour. While the dough is resting, let's prepare the filling. Beat together the peanut butter and softened butter until creamy and smooth. This can be done by hand or using a stand mixer with a paddle attachment. It will take about 2 minutes. Carefully add in the powdered sugar, vanilla, and salt, mixing by hand or on low speed until soft and crumbly. If you don't want crumbly filling, go ahead and add just enough powdered sugar until you get the consistency that you want. Refrigerate the filling until the dough is rested. Our dough and filling rest. Let's talk about Earth Day. Earth Day is celebrated every year on April 22nd. It started in 1970 when 20 million people across the United States rallied together for a cleaner and greener planet. That's 10% of the US population at the time. Well, Earth Day helped to create the EPA, or the Environmental Protection Agency. Earth Day is now celebrated in over 190 countries by more than 1 billion with a B people. It's one of the largest secular observations in the world. April 22nd was chosen originally because it fell between spring break and final exams for college students. So, more students could participate. Exciting! Each year, there is a different theme for Earth Day. In recent years, themes have included Invest in Our Planet, Restore Our Earth, and Climate Action. There's even an official Earth Day flag, which features the iconic blue marble photo of Earth. taken by Apollo 17. You can celebrate by planting trees, doing trash cleanups, going plastic-free, or hosting sustainability fairs, or by sharing this video. Now that our pretzels are nice and poofy, and we've learned all about Earth Day, let's get baking. First, preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, or 204 degrees Celsius, and line 2 baking sheets with parchment or silicone baking sheets. Next, cut the dough into 80-gram pieces, about a third of a cup, with a sharp knife or a dough cutter. Roll each piece into 16-inch or 40-centimeter long ropes and flatten out so they're about 3 inches or 7 centimeters wide. Take the filling out of the fridge and add roughly 2 tablespoons evenly along the rope. Tightly roll one side over to the other and firmly close them together. Shape into the classic pretzel shape or choose another shape of your choice. Place to the side and cover until all pieces are shaped. Next up, bring 1/2 cup or 120 grams of baking soda in 9 cups or 2.1 liters of water to a boil while the pretzels rest. Once the water's boiling, place 1 to 2 pretzels into the boiling water and leave them in there for about 20 to 30 seconds. Using a slotted spoon or spatula, lift the pretzels out and allow the excess water to drip off. Place onto the prepared baking sheets. Sprinkle the top with coarse sea salt if desired. Repeat until all pretzels are boiled. Once the pretzels are boiled, bake for 12 to 15 minutes or until golden brown.
Ready. Okay. Thank you for sticking around with me. Look at these amazing pretzels. The rest are hiding. Shh, don't tell. They're sleeping. So these are my pretzels. They're beautiful. I have to give them a try. I think they do Earth Day very proud. Or will they do Pretzel Day proud? Let's try. These are fabulous. So I'm here for it. Don't do what I did and just measure by heart when you go to measure out the size, because they became gigantical. Actually measure like I tell you to, and you'll have regular normal sized pretzels, unless you want giant ones. There's some even bigger ones hiding underneath my Winnie the Pooh over here. Amazing. The peanut butter is obviously a little sweet, but it really, really makes it go nicely with the pretzel, because the pretzel's a little crunchy, a little salty, absolutely delicious. Give these a try. They definitely do Earth Day proud. The colors are beautiful. Look at that. That's so pretty. It's a blue and green and brown and beautifulness. It's gorgeous. They almost taste like my little Reese's filled pretzels, only they're not as crunchy because obviously. So thanks for hanging out with me. It was great. Shoot me a like. Leave me a comment if you think of anything you want me to give a try. Check out my shorts if you haven't checked those out. I try all sorts of crazy things. They're fun. Shoot me a subscribe because it's free. And I'll see you next time. Bye.